Well, thank you for having us. And
Pleasure.
You arrived in Spain yesterday, if I'm okay.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was the show?
It's nuts. It was
That's
insane.
crazy.
Was the best show of the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying it loud and clear. The best show of the tour so far.
Which bands were setting the stage with you?
We played with Adrenalized and Forest.
Yeah. And how is going the tour?
Tour is going pretty well. We've had mostly good shows actually everywhere we've been. We've been to Russia, it was great. France was great. Holland, everywhere basically.
We hear Russia was hot weather.
Hot
yeah.
weather, yes.
Just like here.
But of
Just like
course.
No, we're glad to be back here in Spain because the weather is nice, people are nice, and the crowd is always good for us here in Spain. So
It's only about 25 degrees hotter than Russia. No big deal.
That's good. And how is the difference between playing in a country like Russia that is cold weather compared with Spain that is hot weather? The people is so different. What kind of difference do you find
you mean in the show or
in general?
in general?
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's more in common than we would think about those kinds of people. Because I think the craziest crowd we ever got were either in Spain or Russia. So there is a common point right there.
And Brazil.
Brazil too.
And Brazil, yeah.
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 So yeah, about difference, I don't know.
The scenery is different, of course. It's way different. Russia looks like home, just the scenery, not the buildings or anything else. But when we were there, we were like, wow, this looks like Canada, for real.
It's pretty cool.
And here it's very different. It's very exotic for us. Every time we come here,
Sorry.
exotic. Yeah.
Why?
Palm trees.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have those at home.
Okay. What do you expect from this tour right now with this album out?
That's a good question.
Spreading the word.
Yeah.
Spreading the word about our music. Getting the new music out to as many people as we can. Just enjoying ourselves, having good shows and great people and
The band.
yeah, other bands.
Getting better shows
yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
It's our third time here in Valencia. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. It's a Saturday night, so it should be good. That's what we expect. Yeah, we expect to play new songs, and so far the album has only been released for 2 weeks now, and people are already singing the new songs. It's been great to see people enjoying the new music.
That was the next question. Thunderblast was out like mid-September or
Exactly, September
2
15th.
weeks ago, mid-September.
more or less.
That's what I said? Okay.
So, how do you perceive it has been received by the people, by the public?
I think the response is great so far. People are singing the songs, so that's a good thing. And, there haven't been too much reviews so far because the release has been only done 4 weeks ago. How many weeks? Six
or so.
6 weeks. So, but we heard good things. We heard good things so far about the new CD. Yeah, well, we worked so hard on that CD. We're glad that people are enjoying it so far.
Seems like in some places people know the new stuff better than the old one. They react. They seem to like the new songs as much or better as the old one. That's kind of surprising to us because it's only been out for a while. And
So you think this album is better received than the last one, than the Raven?
well, what band said that the old stuff is better than the new one? Of course, we think that the new album is better than the old one. We genuinely think that.
So it depends.
Yeah.
Well, lots of people told us that it's our best CD. I presume that they wouldn't tell us if they don't like it as much as the Raven, but lots of people told me it's our best CD.
Okay, so to anyone who hasn't listened to you yet, how can you explain what's mute or what kind of song do you play or do you make? You can talk to.
Can you
Oh,
answer this
yeah,
question?
we're so good so far. They were the best. Mute is fast, technical punk rock with a huge metal influence. Huge metal influence. Crazy, energetic shows.
We don't scream, we only sing.
We have 2 singers. But that's different.
One is a drummer.
Yeah.
What kind of influences, speaking about or talking about concrete bands, can you relate to us? Or, yeah.
I'd say mid 90s punk rock. Like there's two. I would say there's 2 kind of punk rock that we listen to. The one that was made in Sweden back then, and the one that was made in the United States, like Bad Religion, Pennywise, No Effects, this kind of music. And Sweden, Satanic Surfers, Millencolin, the older stuff, of course. What else? Now we still listen to punk rock all the time. There's new bands out there that we really like. Personally, I really like a band from Canada called Living with Lions. They're from Vancouver. The Swellers from Michigan.
They are awesome.
They're really good. What else?
Alex can tell us about some metal influence.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I think that there's a lot of metal going on in our music, and my influences. Talking mainly about bands like Angra or Blind Guardian, Halloween, and also some stuff like Arch Enemy, In Flames, Dark Tranquility, and some other bands.
But you also like punk rock,
Yeah, sure.
It's not a metal band.
not just a metal band.
How do you perceive this global crisis is affecting to the music scene in your level that is not mainstream, and how is affecting to the record labels that are independent, bands like you?
Well, I'd say that the internet has some good things and some bad things. People can steal music really easily nowadays, but it's good for us because people can hear it right away and they come to the concert. In the end, that's all that matters. It's all about the concert. If the concert's good, well, we're happy. It doesn't matter how many CDs we sell, if we're on a big or a small label. We still sell CDs at concert, but what we really enjoy is having a good show with people that are stoked to be there and having an energetic crowd. To me, it's all that matters.
I don't think we would be here if it wasn't for the internet and file sharing and music downloads and whatever. Even on our first tour in Europe, we met a lot of people that were following us for a long time, and surely would never have happened if the internet didn't exist. It sucks for those people who rely on album sales to make a living. But
we're not making a living out of it. It's only a hobby.
We're not looking to live out of the music. Sell more CDs would be great, but if it meant less people knowing us, you give a little, you take a little.
Everyone has an iPod or an MP3 player, and CDs are not fitting in those anymore. You can fit the whole library of CDs in the MP3 player, so the CDs are kind of obsolete now. I still like the product by itself, but when I still go on the internet and steal some music, and then if I really like the band, I'll be at the show and I'll buy some merchandise. I'll even buy the CD eventually. Exactly.
But I was asking more for the economy crash all over the world. I mean, how this crash do you think is affecting to the music industry or to independent bands or labels like you or your label?
I've got an opinion about that. I'd say that the bigger bands, like really big mainstream bands, are not making as much money as they used to nowadays. So they go on tour. So the market is kind of saturated now. Lots of big bands are doing reunion tours, which makes the the scene saturated. There's so many shows everywhere all the time.
And sometimes like bands they tour every year, you know, every year go on tour, they hit the same places, same venues, same town. So they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot, I think, because you know once you've seen them once, maybe you don't want to see them again next year, especially now that ticket prices are so high. You know, people will make choices, especially if they don't have big income. If they don't have a job, or they're talking about the prices, many people don't have as much money as they used to. I can say, but
It's a question about setting priorities.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's why we're trying to give the best show every night, and give it all and not party too much. So the show every night is as good as it can be.
People must get what they paid for and more. If they go and pay and see a shitty show, well, it reflects bad on the band, and not just on those people, but the people that talk about that to other people, and it's hard to build a reputation, and it's really easy to break it down. So yeah.
And more concrete, it's for you harder now than a few years back?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's easier because we got some experience now. We know what we want to do and what we don't want to do. I'd say that the shows are better every time we go on tour. That's a good sign, I guess.
Well, last question. If you want to say one, your opportunity.
Well, I don't know when this.
Ayer lo vi con otra.
We paid them to pass in front of us. Well, if this interview is on the internet before we leave Spain, come to the show. We'd love to see you there. We'll give our best for sure. What else? Go get a copy of Thunderblast. Go get it on the internet if you like it. If you like Thunderblast, well, come to the show and buy a copy. And this is pretty much it, huh? Yep. See you there. See you there.
Thanks again.
Thanks to you, man.
Out.
Thanks a lot, man. Fab told us that you worked really hard for this scene.
Thanks, man.